Hello world, this is Alex Nieva at Infusion Systems with the ICubeX line of products. Today I'm going to show you how to connect a digital sensor to the WiDig and control audio parameters in Ableton Live. So the first thing we're going to do is to connect the sensor to the WiDig. Remember, slot 1, red cable pointing upwards, and then the battery to the WiDig so that it creates a Bluetooth MIDI device. We're going to connect to that device right now in our computer. So you see the device is already listed here in the audio MIDI setup, and we're going to connect. We're connected, so we go to Editor X, and we are going to also connect to the digitizer so that we can communicate with it. Perfect. Remember that you always have to hit update here if you want to load previous configurations or the factory configuration if your WiDig is new. Let's click update. So I'm going to start from 0, so I'm going to hit clear here and reset the GUI here. So my sensor is in channel 1 or slot 1, so I'm going to turn it on and I'm going to see what's coming on from there. So the first thing, this is a digital sensor now. So we need to choose digital here. Now, what type of sensor? This is an Orient4D. If you go to the website, Infusion Systems website, you're going to see all the information necessary to make the Orient4D work. One very important information is the method that you're going to use. Why? Because if you go to firmware 8.10 functions Orient4D, the method is this number here, and that tells you what kind of data is coming from the WiDig. In my case, I'm going to use heading, roll, and pitch information, so that is method 1. You can go over these values by yourself if you need other type of data. So I'm going to choose method 1 here. Perfect. So I think in my case, I'm going to use roll and pitch to control the parameters. So I only need outputs 2 and 3. I'm going to go to 2, and as usual, I'm going to put the noise in 1. And then I'm going to go to 3, and again the noise in 1. So we can monitor what is coming out. You see, sensor, this is roll and pitch. So that information has to go to Ableton Live. Ableton Live is so flexible that you can change messages with any number. So for channel 2, I'm going to send control message 2. And for channel 3, I'm going to send 3. Perfect. So if you see here, you have in channel 1 number 2, in channel 1 number 3, sending that information. So if I move these, look how the data is going through. That's pitch and roll. That's awesome. So now let's go to Ableton Live and see how can we map that into our session. If you need to configure the MIDI devices in Ableton Live, you go to Preferences and MIDI. I need to choose the Bluetooth device, and you have, in order to get control messages, you also have to have the remote on enabled. So with that, we're going to go here to this MIDI configuration, but first we need to select which channel we want to map. So I'm going to go to number 2, which is roll, and I'm going to choose solo here. So only this one is going through. We go to Ableton Live, we click MIDI here, and we are going to map it to filter. You just move it and you get control change message 2 into the filter box. That's great. So now I'm going to go again to Editor X. I am going to solo that, and then we're going to go to 3. I'm going to solo that. And now I'm getting pitch information. We are going to go to again to the MIDI configuration, and I'm going to change the amount there, and that is mapped. That's awesome. So we're going to go back to Editor X and solo that, and now we have both of them going into Ableton Live. So what can we do now? We can gesturally control the parameters, for example, doing this. So if I put my sensor here and I go that is so cool. That is how you can control audio parameters using the Orient4D IMU in Ableton Live. We'll come back with more videos in the following days. Please stay tuned. See you then.